In the vast, open landscapes of Australia, the weather has always been a force of nature that demands respect. But every few decades, a storm comes along that rewrites the record books, not just for its power, but for its sheer persistence. This is the story of Severe Tropical Cyclone Narelle. In March 2026, this system achieved something nearly unheard of, a triple strike, making landfall in 3 separate Australian jurisdictions over the course of a single week. From the tropical humidity of Cape York to the rugged coastline of the Pilbara, Narelle has carved a 5,500-kilometer path of destruction. Today, as the system finally begins to lose its grip on the continent, we look at the data, the impact, and the warnings that remain. Narelle's journey began in the unusually warm waters of the Coral Sea. Fueled by record-breaking sea surface temperatures, it rapidly intensified into a monstrous Category 5 system. On March 20th, it made its first landfall on the Cape York Peninsula. While the region is sparsely populated, the 225-kilometer-per-hour wind served as a terrifying opening act. But Narelle was just getting started. It crossed the Gulf of Carpentaria, striking the Northern Territory as a Category 3 on March 21st, dumping over 300 millimeters of rain on ground already saturated by a heavy wet season. Most storms would have dissipated over the dry interior, but Narelle was captured by a rare atmospheric trough. It moved back over the Indian Ocean, re-intensified, and on March 27th, it made its third and final landfall south of Coral Bay, Western Australia. It is the first storm to achieve this triple crown of landfalls since Cyclone Ingrid in 2005. As Narelle approached the northwest cape of Western Australia, it regained its status as a severe tropical cyclone. The town of Exmouth bore the brunt of the storm's fury. Very destructive wind gusts, clocked at a staggering 250 kilometers per hour, tore through the town. Residents reported the terrifying sound of roofs lifting off homes, and in a dramatic turn of events, the town's main evacuation center suffered structural damage, forcing 50 people to flee to a nearby church in the height of the gale. Further south in Carnarvon, the impacts were surreal. Before the rain arrived, the cyclone's leading edge whipped up a massive, pink dust storm, cloaking the town in an eerie, dusty haze. But the dust was soon replaced by water. A storm surge pushed sea levels 3 meters above the normal tide in some areas, while torrential rain turned the northwest coastal highway into a series of disconnected islands. More than 40 regional flights were cancelled, and the engine room of Australia's economy, the iron ore ports of the Pilbara, fell silent as ships were sent out to sea to survive the swells. As of today, March 28th, Narelle has been downgraded to a tropical low, but the danger is far from over. The system is currently tracking south-southeast at a rapid 60 kilometers per hour, heading directly for the Southwest Land Division. The Bureau of Meteorology has issued severe weather warnings for the Gascoyne, the Central West, and the Wheatbelt. While the winds have slowed, the moisture remains. Perth is currently bracing for up to 100 millimeters of rain tonight, a month's worth in a single evening. With the ground already soaked, the primary threat has shifted from wind to flash flooding. Authorities are urging residents to stay off the roads, as culverts have already washed out near the Billabong Roadhouse, and rail lines are being monitored for embankment failure. It will be remembered not just for the roofs it took, but for the distance it traveled. It is a reminder of how interconnected our climate is, where a warm patch of water in the Coral Sea can eventually flood a basement in Perth, thousands of kilometers away. As the cleanup begins in the north and the rain starts in the south, the resilience of these communities is once again put to the test. Stay safe, stay informed, and respect the power of the storm.